there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It was this 2v2 that started, I think, the ascent to greatness.
We saw the Jin coming in, Mal.
That is true.
This bot side, this prio is actually going to give Owner free license to grab that first Faker to keep him out of that was huge, and kind of the only reason that Gen.G weren't, the Canyon kind of didn't die, right?
Oh, Gen.G though used a lot of cooldowns. They still want to look for the contest here. T1, are they ready?
Gen.G, Guma ready to pull the feathers back. Maybe happy to just take one grub, try to deny all three. Matches so far, good pushback! Only managing to find the clone, and now it's first blood coming through. Keen there in the nick of time, and the needles are starting to fly. T1 packing things up, trying to get out now. Last grub, they aren't even worried about it. Carry and Owner on the way out. Guma trying to hold on, but the Void grubs are down, and in the end, it's 2 for Gen.G.
Gen.G, they get Faker's flash. They get tempo on the map. Might be looking towards setting up for this Drake in 30 seconds.
And I think the scary thing here is we've seen T1 prioritize Drakes, as you mentioned, Emily, and so often it's worked out. But often Gen.G with the gold lead is a more terrifying threat, though. Keen now locked up, cut down on the way out, and the TP's too late. Chovy found a little bit of CC. Maybe he can burn down Owner, but they want to turn this one back. 3 looking for the 4 stack, but instead, Chovy finds a kill in return.
Chovy's able to get the return kill, but there you see,
Stun, flash, okay!
Probably working together to dive. Chovy got one back, but then steps too far forward, and Doran's just able to take advantage.
And Chovy, of all people, should know, having played with Doran for a good amount of time on DRX, on Gen.G.
Here for the side of T1, Chovy is able to get something back, but a little overconfident. We're not going to get to see the rest of the replay because Chovy's been locked up once again. All of T1 descend upon mid lane.
This is what happens if you don't have your flash. If you aren't.
So yeah, they're punching back really well.
Oh, Doran, he goes in.
Needlework used. Duro on the way. Doran counters trying to get a bit of damage back, but he should just fall here. Should be an easy kill pickup. Starting to retreat now. Will finally get cut down through the ultimate. A nice side lane pick for Gen.G, and there's not really a counterpunch for T1. Concede this Herald to get this pick on side lane. Chovy maybe feels like he's secure because he knows that objective would normally be the priority, but he's going to find out very quickly that he's not alone. How is he going to try to outplay this one? Baron to lock up Faker, try to mitigate some of that damage, but there's just nowhere you could go! The Annie does not have the tools to escape! Does the 3-man dive, works out for T1.
And that's
Chovy not expecting that many resources being paid towards him as Keen.
Push back onto Keen. Carrier on the way in. Exhaust coming into Rakan. The charm, the layered CC, nearly flawless. Keen trying to heal back. Keen trying to make the difference. Doesn't quite have it. Faker and Carrier find the... Can wander down to the Drake, but T1 taking their time. Likely to concede this. Don't want to give up a Drake for free, but really don't have the resources on the map. And in the meantime, it is still Carrier and Faker pushing down on the top side.
And what we see here is textbook T1, right? Just overloading on these sides. First is the pick onto Chovy, then it's a topside play, baiting in TP. It looks like Doran is overextending. He's fine anyway. Might have to be careful here as we do have
members of the team now descending on the bottom side of the map, looking for that vision, trying to wrest this control away from T1, hoping to find a pick as Carrier. Now realizes he spot Duro. Quick bit of lockup, trying to protect Faker. Faker needs to get it out of there. Carrier going to use the ulti to try and hold on. Duro trying to find it. Chovy looking for a bit of fall, but Faker still standing for now. Owner ready to body block the shots. Faker still living, but in comes Keen. Gen.G on the bottom side have found a man out of place, and they're looking to find quick kills. Making it look effortless, but it's Doran now. Herald used it, might just have to be the escape path. Doran locked up and shut down. The 4th shot finds his mark, and out goes Canyon.
And there's a reason why Gen.G says, we know how to deal with T1. I've seen that play run by T1 a million times. Faker is quote-unquote overextended as Canyon does miss the turret.
We need to revoke Canyon's driver's license. We're looking at Atacon.
Potentially a big gamble. 2.5 items completed for Guma, relatively strong, but tough now to get into this fight. And now that Gen.G have control over the space. Carrier wandering forward. Walking in, Faker. Doran looking for the flank. Multi-pronged fights, you mentioned it before. Looks like we might just flip it. 3.9k instead. Gen.G collapsing on the flanker, but now it's T1 going all in onto Keen. Keen, Doro looking for the counter gauge. A nice interrupt to stop him from getting into the midst of the entire lineup. Carrier barely holding it alive, and they get the Atacon! Guma steals it! That's Faker now on the retreat. Gen.G hungry for blood. They need to get kills back. They can't afford to give this away for free. Keen will get Faker, but at the cost of the Atacon.
Should be able to get Doran in this turret as well. Gen.G trying to snowball as much as they can.
Taking another kill. But there's not much to transition it to. A top lane tower maybe, but that's infuriating for Gen.G. They got the kills, they just couldn't get the objective. T1 though still behind on the setup as you highlighted. That's what it might mean, conceding the Drake unless they want to risk the fight walking into Fog of War. Faker would much prefer to have that setup first. You can see Owner not afraid to eat a bit of damage as Canyon goes forward, but Owner quick interrupt on the Arctic Assault may just give his life. The burst from Gen.G is 2.
And normally you see a Jin, you're like, I don't know about the tank damage, but with both a Wukong, Bloodletters on Chovy, as well as a Gwen, even Owner, the tankiest member, I think, on the Rift, is just going to go down in seconds.
Kane playing on the edge there a little bit, testing Doran, see if he can find a bit more of an advantage as Doro waits behind him. I think one of the downsides, as you can see there, is normally he would have procced Aftershock. He'd be a bit tankier. You are very squishy. The upside is, in the fights to come, as we keep our eye on Carrier, Ruler pushed back! Caught out, T1 ready to go through, in the Ruler spot, essentially! Knowing how much burst damage they can lay down if needed. T1 forced to respond. It's only Faker providing them a pressure point on the top side. Definitely a strong point. Ruler tries to find a route. T1 looking to get aggressive as Carrier manages to catch out Chovy. Quick 1-2 punch. Chovy flashing, gets the bear down. Sprinting as fast as his little leg should go, but it's Owner to finish the job. Now Keen looking to follow up. Doro looking to find a 3-man knockup. And in goes to Gwen, trying to snip away through the T1 mid laner. Carrier catching, trying to defend. It's just not enough. They're too powerful. Doran, though, looking to take down Ruler. He knows he has no flash. He wants desperately to finish the job. The Q forward! The leap strike. Doro can't find the route. It's a mess across the fight, but it looks like Keen should just be able to chase this one down. Doran taking his time, ward over the wall, quick hop to safety. Multiple members lost on both sides. 2 down for the side of Gen.G, 3 down for the side of T1. Guma needs to make the difference. 3 items on this carry, but it's Duro and Canyon on the chase. Feathers go up, they'll pull back, he can't find the angle, and down goes Guma.
And Chovy survives for just a second longer, meaning
that they're unspotted, but Doro's on the way in, so they'll know they're in trouble now.
Oh, Canyon's here.
Willing to flip it, willing to bet it. Canyon stepping up, T1 now retreating. Is this just going to be a massive leash? Gen.G.
They found Faker.
No reason to take the risk, and now it's Faker who has been caught out, wants to slide back, but there's Ruler waiting, looking for the finish, the kill. Faker gonna go down. T1 over eager, too comfortable in the idea that Gen.G would be fully...
This time, I don't think they're gonna be able to do anything.
Yeah, without the Azir damage, this Baron looks a lot different.
Carrier has Smite and is waiting around the pit.
Oh.
He's 3K, he's wandering in, he's looking for the Miracle Steal. Junglers are hating some of their spellbook right now, but Gen.G have the discipline. They don't objective. Feel like they have good position. TP coming in from Doran and Gen.G. Looks like they're going to immediately back off. Instead, happy to play for the pick. And again, it's just death by 1,000 cuts. They got what they came for. T1 thought it was Baron, but they were just happy with the TP.
Started again. TP used. All sums basically available here. Gen.G.
Chovy, CC onto Doran, instant combo. There's nothing he can do about it, but he goes golden. He buys an extra moment, and it's Guma and Faker on the back line for now, uncontested, trying to fire back. But the objective in the sights of Gen.G, keeping the pressure there.
There he has Smite.
That he does. As does Owner, and they're trying to lock him out of the pit. Canyon, nice backstep with the clone. The chunks onto both clones, massive, but not the real champions. Gen.G poking.
Using the mountain shield.
Yeah.
Just waiting for it to regen.
Chovy on the flank. Ruler trying to find the angle. Bit of CC down on a Faker. The flash forward. He goes golden. Can they try to turn this one back? A multi-man push into the waiting arms of Guma. Guma free firing, but Chovy flashes forward. Finds the CC. Quick QSS. Ulti out. The fight is so damn close. Ruler, one more bullet. Into the ulti. And it might just be curtains for T1 because Gen.G. What a fight. The quadra for Ruler.
Ruler quadra kill cleans up a fight that was so close. At Baron, they'll be able to take down this mid tier 2, and I think they might try to push to end here.
Lore accurate Jin right there. Ruler with the quadra. Look at that damage. This man was one of the weak spots on this team coming into MSI. He was the one, together with Duro, that was most criticized, but his Jin performance this tournament has been insane.
Incredible stuff from Gen.G. They got the advantage. They gave T1 no quarter, no angle, no way of attack back into that one as they take game 1.
Well, that's really all you're looking for, right? Even being able to not have to deal with the culling is a big win for Ruler here.
Yeah, and I think that's why they kind of wanted to wait to
celebrate when a player has this much tenure, but might be celebrating something else here on the bottom side as Doro's already going to be locked up, but Canyon's going in mid lane. That's the flash out for Faker, and he still finds the knock back into the wall. Faker cut down. First blood for Gen.G.
Now on that bot side, and T1 again. We talked about their early Drake prio. They're getting it off that bot lane.
Yep. Talked about the history of the matchup as well. You can see Chovy relatively favored, but it might not matter in the face of this fight as Chovy's going to get locked up and cut down. Guma and Faker finding the kill. Owner with the setup, and now it's Canyon in trouble. The Skarner was good early, but he hasn't been able to get anything else. Carry is still standing. Multiple members marked up. Concussive blows. Everybody's getting knocked out. Instant feat of warfare for T1, but they're not done. Doran on the top side. Bonks him with the hammer, taking his sweet time, fishing for the knock-up.
the equalizer down, he wasn't exactly in a position to kind of come in and really start roasting people as you'd want from an early rumble.
Canyon, nice sidestep. May try to go through the wall here, but Keen is on the way down, so he might be happier about this fight than expected. Canyon not feeling the beat at all as Keen manages to find the kill onto Faker. Canyon still manages to get out. The flash over the wall. They're absolutely bamboozled. Canyon needs a little bit more shooting. Duro! Are you kidding me? The slimmest margins. Canyon shouldn't be alive, and he's still going. Q forward, shattering strike, buying a bit more time. Oh, the flame spitter, it just keeps coming. Canyon lives.
It's a jungle canyon!
Right now, neither side really has enough sustained damage outside of the Rumble to win out in these fights, although Canyon getting things kicked off, manages to snag 2, and Ruler's here. Free firing is the Ezreal. Guma unfazed. Carrion now retreating, likely just to fall here. They'll get 1. Ruler happy to have the kill.
And that's the playmaking Skarner we've come to expect from Canyon. That's why he is so dangerous on this champion, and Guma might be in trouble.
Owner spotted.
Dashing through, Mystic shot sidestepped. TP on the way down, Owner on the way in. Flash out from Guma's good. Shattering strike still hits, and down he goes. Owner's finally here, but it's too late. Faker just tells him to back off. There's no play left.
And that is a TP
invest. T1's going to start it out.
T1 kicking things off. Gen.G not in a great spot. Do have the necessary vision to try and contest. Ruler off on the side seems to be the target. Duro locked up, flicked back, doesn't have the chance to do anything. Excellent block on the ulti coming in from Ruler. Solid pick to start the fight for T1, and now Gen.G, they're starting to reconsider.
You kind of set that up, Dracos, with the pick potential, right? The Braum to Leah combo coming in clutch for T1.
Look at that TP.
Canyon.
Doran's on his way.
Ruler still standing. 1500, it's going to be the flip. Chovy potentially locked up by the ramp. Locked down in the pit. T1 already found one. They're looking for another. It's Chovy off on the side as T1 descending. Keen trying to make the difference. The Realm Orb not coming out in time, and Keen cut down!
And Gen.G, they knew that was happening. They knew they were remembered down. They knew that Keen's still at the base on the Skarner, right? So the only thing I think T1 need to avoid at all costs is just walking into a big multi-man engage from Duro and from Canyon. That could be enough to turn the fight as the TP comes in.
TP from Gen.G, immediate response coming in from Doran. Chovy now trying to Realm Warp out. He wants nothing to do with that fight. Lockup goes there onto Duro. Faker looking to follow. Goes over the wall, but he's all on his lonesome on this side. Doran quick to follow up as well. Colin coming out. Guma knocking him down. Canyon needs to get out. He'll find the retreat, but it's T1 who are first on pulling the trigger. T1 finding the angle of attack. Chovy, Ruler still standing. Double threats. Canyon there to potentially steal, but it looks like the objective is already gone. Down goes the Herald. Retreat out from Duro. 4 members standing on the side of Gen.G, but T1 looking to run him down. Ruler caught. Knockup now connecting. Doran running out of health. The turn back coming in. Canyon, damn clutch. Chovy needs the damage to finish the job, though, and he doesn't have it. Charging through is the Herald into the mid lane, and T1 get the fight.
And Gen.G didn't have the damage there, even though they were able to get off a beautiful CC combo.
I'm sure Gen.G feel threatened, but T1 not hesitating to risk the flip.
Faker wall.
Canyon, they don't see him. Faker wall the zone off. Equalizer to start things off, keeping them in the fight. Canyon going over, but who's going to get it in the end? Eyes on the Drake, but Faker laying down so much damage, and the Drake might not even matter. Guma continuing to free fire. Uncontested his door, just barely makes it out. No, he will get cut down. Canyon finds a good ulti, but Chovy zoned from the fight. The Rise doesn't have the range, but T1 sure as hell have the damage. Another fight in their favor.
Canyon still in the area. Might look for a possible steal. Desperation play from the Skarner. He's not seen.
2.5k. Getting lower. Not spotted.
Doesn't know.
Doesn't know. Goes in, goes right back out. But now the chase. Hex gate. T1 want a little bit more. Canyon running. Flick back, flashed away. Oh, they get the flash as well, and that makes it...
Not with T1 in control of the tempo.
Definitely not. And one thing that I will say... Guma looking powerful, but may have been picked off. Carrier here to body block and try to cover. Guma sidestepping as best he can, but they're moving their way around the Unbreakable. Down goes the Equalizer, and Guma cut out of the fight. Ezreal ulti from Ruler is good. The fight's still coming through for Gen.G. They found the angle, and they're taking it. Quick double for Ruler.
We talked about...
The better of it is... Ruler knows that they are not out of this game yet. His Otacon has been started up.
Doran trying to get in, ready to blow the horn if he has to. Owner, it's so hard to deny him access to the pit. Doran getting chunked out, still 5k, they can't really afford. Instead, they're turning. Gen.G collapsing on the flanker of Doran, but here comes Faker laying down the wall. All D leverage. Only one member gonna get knocked out. They want to burn through Chovy. 4k on the objective. They're not gonna be able to finish it, but now the fight breaking out. Carrier trying to find the angle. Gumayushi throwing down the calling, and all of Gen.G is starting to fall. Chovy and Keen on the run. They can burn whoever they want, but it's not enough to take the fight. Doran unfazed. Carrier stepping up. Faker to follow through and bring it home. 7k on the Otacon, but it belongs to T1.
The T1 not going to let a single pick stop them from doing what they love, which is fist fighting to the death. as the crowd goes crazy. Otacon goes the way of T1, and the odds of this series going to 1-1 are looking good right now.
And the crowd
outside jungle. It's a perfect setup to really put Gen.G in an advantageous position where they have to check into Fog.
Again, it has to be a one-more combo. It has to be a combination of Canyon and Keen, maybe Duro finding multi-man ultimates if Gen.G want to salvage this fight.
Ulti from Ruler only connecting onto Carry. Off on the side, it's Keen! Caught off once again. He buys an extra second, but it just does not matter. Down goes the Rumble. The equalizer decent, but the follow-up is just not there. Carry a body blocking, keeping Chovy out of the fight single-handedly. He's going to be able to realm warp to safety, but Canyon with the pullback. Can it be the face that turns? Faker stunned, not able to find the follow-up, but the flick back into Chovy, it's good! T1! Find the angles, find the fight, find the pick, and just keep the ball rolling. Gen.G shell-shocked as T1 break into the mid lane.
It's a layered engage from T1. 1 into 2 into 3. Doran followed up by Faker, followed up by Owner, followed up by Carrier. And T1 gonna get Hextech Soul and stamp out the remaining hopes, I think, of Gen.G in this game too.
Yeah, they're in such a good position. And that was such a beautiful Drake setup. Gen.G
in these fights, Keen needs to be on top of people. He doesn't really have a choice, right? He needs to do damage. He needs to actually get value from his kid. But the moment you get even remotely close, you are an immobile carry. Ornn can just, with any of his CC, any of his knockup, especially with the follow-up that's there between Braum passive, between Talia flick, between Owner following up.
They're now immediately on to the Baron. They have great vision set up.
TP from Doran is coming in, but the Baron is going down.
Meantime, Doran buying a bit more space. They're not in a position to contest. They can't even get Doran as well. Now the horn has been blown, and it might be Keen who's been caught out. Doran trying to find the disengagement. In the meantime, it's Keen getting cut down where he stands. Does not have time to go golden. It does not matter as Faker's on a rampage. And T1 are out for blood.
Doran is but the jester. He's distracting them, TPing in their midst as Gen.G see the objective taken by T1. And now what surely will be the final push of this game too.
T1 pushing through, tearing Gen.G apart in these fights. Gen.G had that first kill, but kept giving these angles back to T1. Owner getting aggressive onto Chovy. Chovy no way out. Carrier ready to follow up. He has to go back under the tier 3 tower. Good sidestep keeps him standing. T1 maybe forced back for a moment, but as you highlight, Emily, Faker is here. And the Hextech Soul, that poke only continuing to add up. Ruler trying to get some push, but Carrier ready. Uses the unbreakable. Gen.G.
The damage is T1.
Lock up there, flick back onto Canyon, manages to find a few members, but again, Gen.G running, sent packing. Gen.G, when they had the lead, they choked T1 out, but T1 backbreakers in this game as Guma finds the double, looking for a few more kills, looking to tie up the series. Gen.G, whatever dominance they had domestically, it's a different story on the international stage. T1 won't go quietly, and Gen.G sent packing here in game 2.
I love the way we saw how both of these teams choke out their opponents as we see T1.
The timer's up. Is it actually up? It's barred. Okay. That's still hype. Everything is hype. Okay. Yeah. Ready to try and flip it. Faker looking to zone him away. Canyon would have to commit the flash.
Yeah, no.
They need to get some vision as Canyon gonna get spotted.
Spotted, immediate pop. Carrier brings the entire team through that seeks off, but now Chovy's on the way, looking to find a taunt. Aegis Assault blocks so much damage, and T1 are trying to back away, but Owner caught in the thick of it. Has to flash out. Still rooted over the wall, but they cannot finish the kill. Chovy, flash follow, Justice punch. The taunt doesn't connect, but he gets the flash out of Guma, and Canyon, a blinking health bar, but he'll manage to stand strong. Chovy locked up for a moment. It doesn't seem like they have the damage. Messy exchange. There's really no angle of attack.
There's no angle of attack, and it's just another.
Lock up there. Punt back into the tower. Tower turned off. Guma caught out, stunned. He'll be able to run out thanks to the Bardal. It's a little bit awkward, but Doran waiting over the wall. Now the bomb coming in for Canyon. It's just a little bit weird on the top.
Yeah, he's going to be able to take that. Meanwhile, Canyon is on this Drake on the bot side. Doran is going to kind of scout that out, but not really going to be able to do anything to contest. So good from Gen.G to recognize, again, this is a window to get onto that.
No action, and it looks like T1 have agreed for a trade deal. They said you can have ready to go. Eyes on Gumayusi on the side. Ulti from Carrier also has the potential to be big. No cleanse, but there's a barrier for Ruler. T1 have opted out. They are not interested. There will be no blood today.
I take back my earlier statement.
Take a breath, Vancouver.
That's my
Calm down.
There will be blood against the Drake, and I don't know, turrets can't really bleed. But Doran's gonna get some nice damage on this top tier one, right?
They can crumble.
Yeah, exactly.
I think top lane's gonna
He's gonna get first turn for T1. Let's go.
Right, we're only at 45, which is below average.
They put up the teamfight UI as a
over the
optimistic.
wall.
Blue buff. No.
Blue buff there. Chovy looking for the engage. Carry ready to disrupt if he can, but they may have just been able to find the pick. That's a two-man, but the ulti's already coming over for Guma. Faker ready to get in the midst. Double flash out. They're going to find that first bubble. Who's going to get it there? Because Doran's still alive. Down he goes. Chovy gets the first blood.
Mayhem for a blue buff. You can trade, but you can't afford to give them soul point this early into the game. Ruler close to 60 stacks as well.
Also, just baseline individual mountain soul or mountain Drake value is so high for Gen.G.
It is.
And again, none of that poke sticking. You can see Ruler just keeping Chovy topped up. Nice
Elixir
back step.
Used by Doran.
Ready for the fight. T1 know how important this is. They're willing to give 500 gold in the back pocket of Doran. Just have that extra little bit of power in the fight. Trying to take control. Careful about walking into the choke point. Eyes on Guma and the ulti here. Excellent interrupt from Carrier to stop Chovy from getting that taunted, and now they're stepping forward. Ulti, fantastic follow, and now there's going to be no way out for Ruler. He doesn't have anything left. There's just enough shielding to keep him standing. Ruler lives, and now the fight breaks out. Keen in the midst of the entire team. The Kashate ready to pop off. Guma can't get any damage down, and Gen.G weather the storm of T1. Ruler stays standing, and Faker and Guma are not enough to turn the fight back. They keep most of their members, but they'll lose the Drake.
And on the back half of that fight, Duro with the Alistar coming up clutch, right?
Job, because despite a great ultimate with no flash available there, as
hold that thought. They found another.
It's just the Canyon ult. Yeah. He's not ready for it. That's
the Pantheon Galio combo.
I hate that was right, but we're currently in the game, by the way. Finally falling here, and Gen.G, their only job is
TP coming in from Keen. Ulti from Carrier. The combo potential, what we have to keep our eye on. But Keen doesn't want to give them the space to set up. Doran trying to respond. Flash out of the gravity field. Carrier going back over the wall. Canyon trying to zone away as best he can as Doran gets that health bar chunked. But not too much effective damage yet. And again, it could be Ruler just continuing to heal, continuing to top up Gen.G in the extended fight. It looks like it might be the 50-50. Guma waiting over the wall, but Chovy there, ready to deny the MF ultimate. Owner in the midst of the pit. Canyon locked up, but T1 don't have the first damage objective. Yes, they do! It's Otacon down! A beautiful ult! Carrier and Owner together securing the objective. Faker trying to make his way out. They got what they came for. He'll give his life, but will it cost them the Baron?
And it might not even be Baron. Over in a second.
Ready to go. Baron down for the side of Gen.G. Next fight.
Here we go.
And they go.
Doro ready for the follow-up. Carrier trying to go in. Ulti coming in for Guma, though! He lines him up and he tries to knock him down, but in goes Canyon right in the nick of time! Descending from the skies, denying T1.
Being able to secure the smite. The stalling from Gen.G was the big factor there. The fact that Senna kept them top.
The one damage dealer that can potentially cause us problems is Guma. Jumps immediately onto him in the backline. That's what we talked about with this composition. The backline access coming out from this Galio Pantheon combo.
Prevail as they just continue the siege on tier 2s, and this is where it gets difficult. I think just 5 minutes ago, Chronicler, the entire team there to back him up. Only 50 seconds left on the Baron. So just this wave and the next, but T1 need to hold on. Lockdown onto Keen, exhaust there, he's unstoppable, just a use of the Pathmaker. Decent damage, but again, the ulti over the top from Ruler.
They just don't have the damage. Even getting for the Mountain Shield alone took them a bunch of cooldowns.
Canyon goes in, quick ulti out, and now the response coming in. Good damage, follow-up, Keen, knocked up! Owner finds the angle, ulti over the top coming in from Faker. Ulti not going to connect from Carrier, but it might not matter. Chovy trying to keep this one going, though. Massive damage going in for the Galio. Canyon living for an extra moment, but Owner finds another in the clutch. Chovy going back in for Guma, though, and Ruler's still alive. The Senna's still alive. T1 need to take down Ruler, but they're out of cooldowns. They're out of damage, and they're out of hope in this game 3.
Faker barely living on the back half of that, but you're absolutely right, Dracos. It's Ruler. He is the main carry that you need to take out. Up. Chovy gonna clear out that ward, doesn't end up finding Faker.
He doesn't know, doesn't actually get it. Gen.G, I think, have actually lost.
Freeze when they are able to actually get any sort of access.
Over the wall. Again, don't want to give them the chance to breathe. Canyon stepping pretty far forward, but Carrier still has access to his ultimate.
We do have Chovy rather also finishing his death cap himself, so isn't just Faker that's sitting on that item right now. 4 items for him. And this is the real issue for T1. Outside of a Bard ult, you're engaged. Pretty telegraphed. Owner jumping in, Doran going in. Even as a sound cue is desperately trying to hold on.
TP in from Doran. Owner kicking things off. Third auto primed and ready to go. We'll just back away. T1 want to hold on to as much of their base as they can. As long as that inhibitor doesn't fall, they're in an okay spot to potentially contest the next objective. Owner trading blows, tries to make his way out of the taunt. Duro on the way into the mid lane. Finds the lockup, and Owner in trouble now. Forced to flash back into safety. Keen immediately into the back line. Gumayusi has a decent angle to get things kicked off, but it might not matter. Keen doing so much work. 2v1 against the T1 carries. Doran dies in the blink of an eye, and Gen.G go for the throat.
And that's the exact backline access we were talking about with this composition. This should be the backbreaker. This should be game. After this, Gen.G are going to be on match point.
Slow, steady suffocation from Gen.G. A single fight is all they need to turn this game into not a lot of opportunities for T1. The T1 gonna have to watch their Nexus falls as Gen.G go up 2-1.
Locked up, knocked down, Gen.G slow, controlled.
Potential, obviously this Poppy can go towards the top lane.
Top.
Are we gonna get Canyon?
Oh!
Canyon said!
The Doran beat Zeus. Myth started as T1.
Chovy, good damage, immediate flash out from Chovy, but a nice advantage to start. Charm to follow, handshake back, and they go. Massive damage on the carry, and they get the kill! It's first
I think both of these teams, once you start falling behind, Karma feels really rough. Nocturne can feel really rough.
Canyon trying to make up for it. Nice handshake. Faker's here, in a good position. Decent damage going through. Follow-up Shockwave only connecting onto one, and that's going to be big because it's Canyon to the back line trying to finish off Faker. Flash through! Ruler gets the job done. That's the initial ulti out. Bailout is there as well. Owner flashing to safety. He'll manage to survive. Ruler in the back line. Ruler shielded up and finding the kills. Gen.G get everything they need in that exchange. Uncontested is Canyon might be looking mid lane. Ulti over the wall. That's going to be the death mark. Faker trying to get tricky, trying to get his way out, but Canyon hits everything. Ulti follow. Trying to get something back onto Chovy. Owner still going forward. Doran on the way in. They're desperate to kill Chovy, but Chovy still manages to live for an extra moment. Bomba gets the job done. And T1
and not give Gen.G opportunity to just keep stacking these Drakes, but see if they can turn onto Keen.
Looking to find the angle onto Keen, hoping to find the knockback. Hits two members. An opportunity for Gen.G to go crazy, and Chovy immediately also get things kicked off. Dashing in. Shockwave hits two. Bomba back into the lineup. But Duro with the beautiful ultimate buys a few extra seconds. Ready now to go in as Owner pops the ulti. Darkness on the side of Gen.G. They know they've lost the exchange, but T1 alive. T1 happy to tie up the Drakes. An excellent fight in their favor.
It's going to be heavily dependent on bursting down those key targets.
Canyon seems to be the key target for now. Ulting to try to get away, but the Fear Tether still connects.
It's very, very tough. Lot of really good flank angles for this Gragas. And that's now the second Drake going over to T1. And the rest of T1 also not phased. Doran is just pushing in topside. We'll be getting the first turn. Kind of doing to Gen.G what Gen.G did to them in game number 3. Just slowly choking them out of the game.
The trap. T1 don't have perfect information. The ward doesn't spot far enough. Now Doran will see what's happening. Chovy waiting over the wall. Flash it from the Gragas. Getting things kicked off. For now, Ruler on touch on the backside. Canyon already out of the fight. And keep your eyes on Ruler as he starts to run rampant. Throws Duro back into the mix of the entire exchange. Ruler ready to take over, but the knockback is huge. Ruler goes down, buys a couple extra seconds. They need to finish off Doran so he can live, and then manage to make it work. Gen.G holding on. 2 stacks up for Chovy. Retreat going in. Big damage from Guma as the big one finds its target. Keen off on the side, gets feared up, locked up. Owner finding the kill. The charm onto Faker is big, but it's not enough damage to finish the job.
And Gen.G read the engage to come through from Doran. Find what he's looking for.
And Faker is going to be able to clean up this
sliver of health. Might be the difference. Canyon waiting over the wall. Duro needs a good ulti here. Shockwave into the midst of the team is a decent start to the fight. Duro managing to get the ult out. It's chaos in the pit. The shutdown onto Owner is crucial. AK on the Baron and it's dropping. T1 want to keep this fight going. They don't want to risk the 50-50. They shouldn't have to. 5K, eyes on the prize for Gen.G. It's a split call. Chovy starts to dive into the backline. 2K on the objective. Doran in the midst of everything. He can't get it done. In the end, the Baron goes to the side of Gen.G. They found their moment and they took it.
That looked so dicey for Gen.G. Initially, they're able to get Owner out, damage him enough that they could stay on that Baron. On it, Faker is going to be able to clear up this tier 1 in
Wave there as well. Flash ability for Owner if he wants to go over the wall, but 50-50 doesn't seem a likely story with Kalista in the game. Instead, Gen.G take down the Drake, get themselves to 2. T1 still at soul point, but they'll also finding these fights, and it was little missteps that ended up costing them that game. Important. Gotta do your due diligence. Charm gonna hit. Ulti across the top. Doran rooted up, but a good response. Ulti coming in from Owner.
We go again. Shockwave still up.
Shockwave connecting onto Doro. Decent poke damage. Keen from behind manages to knock the Gragas out of the picture. Owner might be in trouble, but Keen not able to get down the follow-up. We'll just back away.
Ooh, don't forget, there is no Baron buff. Chovy goes in again.
Charm connects, but again, no follow-up.
Flanking ward to come through it. Chovy behind him.
Chovy ready to go, looking for Faker. He goes golden, instantaneous reaction speed. Keen now gonna look for some form of disengage. The Poppy on the front lines. Excellent ulti coming in from Doro, but it doesn't do too much. Chovy ready to go over the wall one more time, but he's warded out this time. T1 are ready. Ulti for ulti, tried to flash it. Doro wants to make the difference, but it doesn't quite connect. And instantaneously, Canyon goes in, finds the follow-up damage. Chovy taking down Doran. T1 on the retreat. Gen.G still standing strong. Only Doran.
Gen.G haven't cleared that.
No ulti, no flash.
Oh,
seems like they're just not worried.
Fast enough.
Instead of Keen, not afraid to frontline, knows.
Mirroring vision.
Chovy's gonna show on this top wave.
Shirellia's popped. Chovy showing. Barrel sidestep. Keen goes in. Now Ruler's uncontested. Look at the damage coming out of this Kalista already. Owner forced to ultimate. Canyon on the way out, but he goes right back, and he brings him in. The combo only connects on one. Chovy on the side. Eyes on the Yari, but he's not able to find anything. One more dash, all that's left. Doran getting lower. Gumayushi still standing strong. Gen.G. Redemption bringing them back healthy. T1 hurt, but not out of it.
Gonna go.
Close.
No one has died. Doran can TP in fresh.
Chovy the last dash out. Shockwave gone, ulti's gone across the board. The Poppy ult, Keen. Eyes on him, can he make the difference? 5K, objective getting lower. Ulti there, spell shield there, I can't get into the pit, they cannot find it. Keen continuing to walk up. Canyon secures it with the smite. Ruler knocked back for a moment, and down goes Doran.
T1 still looking.
Baker does not want to give them the chance to back to reset.
Combo's almost available again.
Wants to keep the fight going. Gen.G. Ruler wants to push the wave on the side.
Canyon.
T1, if they bet wrong here with the wave already pushing, it could cost them the game.
Now vision.
Canyon threatening.
Ooh.
Shadows out.
Ooh.
Now the ulti. But they take their time, they're waiting on the retreat. They saw the W used, they're gonna force the flash as well. Keen continues to go in. Big damage, Shockwave back, Keen! Over eager and shut down! T1 playing on the edge. Ruler diving forward.
Most likely going to lead into them getting prio on this.
T1, but the combo from the Nocturne Orianna will always be lethal. Ruler starting the objective. It won't be a 50-50 on the smite. It's gonna take a miracle. Ocean, Drake, Ocean Soul secured, and now Chovy goes in. They manage to get the Zhonya's out immediately, and Owner's gonna try to fire it back, but he can't get anything else done. Canyon posturing on the side, and T1 uncertain of where they can go, but Doran sees the angle clearly. Deathmark in, Shockwave! Flawlessly timed as Guma now gets the shutdown. Keen looking for the disengage. Ruler untouched as he starts to take over. Doran forced backwards by the hostile takeover. The pullback on the handshake is good, and Chovy now in trouble, but it does not matter. Guma going in, quick cleanse. Chovy going golden. Doro not in a great spot to follow up, and it's Ruler. It's Ruler versus the world, but T1 are not going to give him the angle. They group up. They stand strong. Doran going in. Doran not able to find it. It's Soul for the side of Gen.G, but T1 for now ahead in kills. They found 2. If they keep this fight going, they can put the pressure on. They can try to close it.
The health bars, though, the healing from this Ocean Soul is so big.
TP back in.
TP in, though.
Faker on the way. Keen needs to find a way out. Fear there. Knock back onto Keen. Right into the midst of the team, and now Doro and Ruler have to make all the difference, but Honor finds the reset. He's into the back line. It's him versus Ruler, but Ruler just takes it. They have to keep him running. They have to take him out of the equation. T1 should just finish it here. He's gliding. Flash. Pierce. He just continues to walk away. Marshall poised trying to style on them, but the GA denied. Taken away. He'll find no value, and it is T1 find their man.
Look at the death timers.
Oh my gosh.
Vancouver hungry for more from
Chovy's
T1
up as well.
For game 5.
They just got to clear.
They have to keep pushing. The Ocean Soul will remain for Gen.G as long as they stay in this game. T1 a brief glimmer, a brief moment to take it. Their scoreline not spectacular. The Poppy ult, the Gragas ult, the tools to kick things off. The Charm, though, might make the difference. He's been caught out. Owner missed the entire team trying to ult out the safety. Faker knocked entirely out of the fight. Canyon wants to follow, but Doran is there with the body slam.
He's looking for these plays, but now prio on Baron for Gen.G, and the ultimate for Owner is gone.
Shockwave.
Yeah, that's huge.
Shockwave
is
from
still
Faker
up.
can be big. taking his time, waiting for the angle as Gen.G just descend on the objective. They know they have the advantage if it comes down to it. Contempt for the weak, the passive for the Zed. The E from the Kalista should finish it. Getting set is Keen picked off. Eyes on Faker again with the shockwave. Gen.G desperate to burst through the objective. 6K, lower and lower. It should be impossible for Owner, but he might be able to make it happen. No, Gen.G get it, and Ruler's running rampant. Or they can't get to the backside. Ruler untouched. Double kill for T1. Objective down in Gen.G's favor, but again, the cost is too high. Guma stands tall. Doran on the chase. Chovy golden, but headed to silver, and it's the Quadra.
A quadra kill for Gumayushi. This Corgi is massive. The hero of this is Doran. This Gragas has been instrumental in these T1 fights. He showed up in playoffs to get them here. He's showing up massively again in this game.
T1 will not be denied a game 5. Once more into the fray we go again.
Like to play, how they like to pressure their opponents. He's gonna walk in Pike. Yes!
Pike it is! We haven't seen
big deal, even if Keria doesn't actually roam over. Chovy has to play a lot safer as Canyon. He's level down!
Hit, Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike. The red buff is there too. Canyon trying to finish the objective to hope he get level 3 himself, but the autos are just not gonna do much of anything. Owner determined to finish it. Heal going in.
Dead.
Canyon down for first blood! And in the head of these early game deficits. But Keria is in the mid lane to flap through the Q. It's flawless. It's not enough to find the kill, but it might be if they can get a bit more. Chovy, beautiful punish. The weird and keep taken out. Canyon might throw a cheeky spear, but it just won't matter. Drake
something on the spot side. He is going to get spotted out by that ward on the invade. They have TK.
Split dives. 2 sides of the map. Owner ready with the setup. They want to go all in on this Renekton. Doran trying to style the exhaust already there. Ulting back through to get under the tower, but now he's face first with Canyon. Dash through his key. Looking for the cash out. And on the top side, the feed of warfare is claimed. A massive influx of gold.
Keria goes down, but it does not matter. T1 wins on another dive.
Oh, Faker's on his way as well.
Trying to hold on. Dominus use Q into the wall. Good combo.
In the Renekton lane, they don't have the prio. Canyon hasn't been able to make any plays on this to kind of bridge the gap for this Jinx to even get into the game. It's cost them.
He steals it. It doesn't change the gold difference.
I do want to reiterate again, this Mbessa is 1K up.
Yep,
on
pretty
the
strong. Keria and Duro trading blows. It doesn't mean much.
Bad.
Pretty happy with that as Guma's just going to go all in on Ruler here under the tower. Tom Kench might try to come in. Good traps from Ruler. That's crucial. He doesn't have the rocket though. 3 seconds. Guma, global of his own, trying to sidestep. Ruler might just get caught, but on the top side it's Doran versus Keen going all in. Level 10 to level 10. Ulti not going to hit. Every single lane explosive.
But that initial steal means that they don't have to contest, despite the fact that T1 have set the map.
The Drake buys them extra time, buys them another few minutes, but I don't think it'll stop T1 from breaking this tower.
Yeah, and it's just so tough.
In, Ruler caught out. They know Tom Kench doesn't have the Devour, so they go all in on the play. Just tier 1 down though. T1 don't need to overstay. And now the Herald out to safety. Doran 2-0. Taking a quick lap around the rift to celebrate.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of expecting Doran to go in there. That will be very Doran. Flash out immediately.
Just not in the lane that you expect. Keen. Oh, it's just short. Oh, Keen.
And being set up here by T1. But literally, again, because of that steal from Ruler, Gen.G can now opt out of this. I don't know if they...
Gen.G, good retreat. Calm, collected. Trying to keep Prio, using range advantage in mid. Owner, pull back onto Keen is good. But you can see how hard it is for T1 without an angle of attack to kick these fights off. All eyes on Doran. The Mbessa wants to keep things going. Quick flash out. Ruler still standing. Duro tries to get a sidestep, but it does not matter. Keen keeping things going. An exhaust onto the Mbessa. And it's Chovy! Chovy in the midst of the fight. Keeping it going as Keen wants to go forward. Guma off on the side, completely isolated. Eyes on the Dre, even though he might just be able to catch up. But it's the reset for Ruler. Ruler, 1.5 items. It does not matter. He's still managing to make it work. The zap there. Guma. 2v1, 3v1, 4v1, they continue to descend. Gen.G have found an angle of attack.
Kind of making sure that members of T1 were a bit separate, and the most important things are for safety.
Gen.G has tempo. Owner spotted.
Doran's so far away. Are they willing to bet on the 50-50? Wait for the Sonic Wave to expire. Must be the call. Traps are there too. They've caught out Owner. Owner locked up the kickback, trying to retreat now as Canyon's already taken the objective. Rocket hits him! Another reset for Ruler! The double kill for Gen.G's 80 carry.
Oh my god, they can go for Nash!
Gen.G in the blink of an eye in a single fight in the mid lane, and now on the top side at Otacon have wrested control from T1, but T1 refused to go quietly, knocking down the tier 2. They want to try and break the base, desperate to get more. Baron falling for Gen.G. Inhib Tower falling for T1, but now it's T1 on the back foot. They need to survive this buff as Chovy just takes more gold on the top side.
Oh my gosh, what a back and forth game. Rulers Jinx back in it. Gen.G
position already. His comp doesn't look good.
And look at this now between our two AD carries, right? As
The
Teamfight
contrast
UI is going to troll me a little bit there.
Oh my.
3 items.
But Ruler is now ahead.
Wildly far ahead, despite the cash out for Guma. 480 stacks still, he can turn things back, but we know this is where Ruler really takes over the range.
And it was fights that brought T1 back to a game 5 from the deficit despite the soul in the previous game. It's gonna have to be fights, it's gonna have to be a crazy pick from Owner, but now the rest of Gen.G is online as well, right? 3 items on Chovy, Canyon sitting on 2, they can't just go for Ruler.
So many times in the clutch, T1 have made the impossible possible. They'll have to do it again because Gen.G are more powerful. Gen.G weathered the storm of T1's composition, and they're not looking to give them anything back now that they've taken hold.
And how clutch was that Drake steal from Ruler, unironically setting them in a position.
Member to eat damage from Ruler. Every single member of this T1 lineup is vulnerable, but Chovy himself is vulnerable as well. Initial lockdown is good. Hook to pull him back, but he hits into the wall. Follow-up now coming in. Chovy buying an extra second. The weirding as he tries to retreat. He will just have to give his life. Quick shutdown! Oh, and that gold lead looking a hell of a lot closer after that cash-in.
That cash in, but then you see Gen.G immediately responding. They still have Baron
Rocket.
buff
Cancel.
minions.
Cancel resets.
Oh!
Baker! Oh! Ah! Oh, he tried to be the hero, and in the end.
Yeah, so he lives.
Keep it composed. No, they
Back
can't
on
afford
access.
to give them an angle.
Ruler. The cannon saves him.
Ulti in, managing to connect immediate exhaust. Doro's already used the ulti, and now Faker probably going to try to look to follow up. Doran on the retreat, though, and Chovy firing back. Keen, the flash forward. Ruler now allowed to free fire, but they haven't found the reset yet. Guma so low, but he's still standing. Crucially, healing now coming in. Massive damage from the Draven, but Gen.G are on the chase. One reset for Ruler. May just end it here. Duro, the Q flash forward. Canyon chasing as well. Doran splitting from the rest of his team for a hope at another shot, at another fight, because it's falling apart for T1.
Super minions are in the base. They're going up from that bot lane. T1 have to back to respond.
That's going to be, I was gonna say a soul point, but it looks like Gen.G instead want to push for mid. 1 inhib is nice, 2 inhibs is actually debilitating. Makes it so much harder to get outside of your base.
Gen.G continuing to push up. T1, the last desperate stand.
Are they gonna actually push the end? Doran is 25 seconds.
Gen.G looking to close it. So much hope domestically, looking to make good as Carrier tries to find the fight, but it's Guma isolated on the side, looking to take down Ruler. One more auto, but it doesn't quite have the damage. Ruler living in the clutch. Gen.G hold the line. Gen.G knock down T1 and advance to the finals.